So hey, what's up guys? It's B-Dog. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I promised a while ago. It's called What Makes a Classic. So before I get into that, I just want to let you know some stuff about my channel. First, I'm going to have a video every single week on Thursday. It's probably going to be in the form of a podcast, but if this video does well enough, this will be my go-to series and I might switch it out for the podcast. This is going to be my take on what makes a film a classic. Hopefully I'm going to be doing an actual series on this where I talk about movies that are classics and why they're classics. So there are a lot of definitions for what a classic is. They're all right here, and there are a lot of them. I will define throughout my video what a classic is. That's what this whole video is about. So here's the definition I'm going to be using. I'm interpreting it. That's basically what I'm doing. You know, I'm adding a little bit of my own flair because a classic can mean something different to everyone. You have to understand that about movies, most things are subjective. I have 2 points that really define what a classic is. My 2 points that I use to define what a classic is are timelessness and standard of excellence. Timelessness. Timelessness means that most people can relate to the story. It isn't dated. It isn't a problem that only occurred in the 50s and isn't a problem now. Really what it does is it transfers well across generations. Perfect example, so I can explain it better, would be the movie Roman Holiday. The reason that the story is timeless is because it's about peeling back the layers of a person. We do this all the time with people. We make split-second judgments and we're like, I think this person is like that, and then we might not like them because of that, but then when we actually meet them and start talking to them, we're like, hey, you're not who I thought you were. And that's important, and everybody can relate to that, and that's basically what this movie is about. Two characters meeting each other and then figuring out that they're not who they thought they were. At least one character does, and you know, that's important. The next part of the story that makes it timeless is out-of-class romance. You know, you've heard it before. Two people getting together aren't in the same social classes. That's an integral part of this story. That's part of what it makes it timeless, is the fact that a lot of people can relate to it, or at least heard that story before, so at least in some way they can relate to it. Next example I got is Rocky. This one is a little bit more straightforward, to be honest with you. Simple. Sports movie. Americans love their sports. People love their sports in general. And second, it's an underdog story. It's about a guy from the bottom who wants to get to the top. Everybody has been in that situation. They feel themselves in Rocky. Standard of excellence. Really quality movie that set the bar for something. The thing that you have to understand is, yes, it's more about a movie actually being outstanding, but it has to be a standard as well. You know, it has to be something that you can ultimately look at and be like, yes, that represents something. The first example I have is Toy Story. That's going to be my first in the series. I don't know how many I'm actually going to do of it, but I'll start out with that one. Anyways, Toy Story. Why is it a standard of excellence? Was the first Pixar movie. It really put Pixar on the map. It was such a great story. It was told so well. The animation was fantastic. The dialogue was absolutely fantastic. It really set up for what was to come of Pixar. Become the giant that they truly are. And it revolutionized animation. It really set the standard. Everyone has to rise to that bar that Toy Story set. Next example, The Exorcist. It is considered one of the scariest movies of all time. It's one of the highest grossing horror movies at the box office. Set up the industry. Now, not everyone followed it, but the thing about it was, you know, there are so many different horror movies now, especially related to spirits and demons. You know, if you want to look at a horror movie that is absolutely fantastic, one of the greatest horror movies of all time, look no farther than The Exorcist. They did everything so well. And the thing about it was, the movie was so grounded. That's why people were so scared of it. It was done in such a way that this could actually happen. You know, it wasn't like your over-the-top Paranormal Activity BS. They just made it simple. They didn't have a bunch of people get demonized. They had one person, a little girl, and then they had people trying to fix this mess, and that was the whole struggle. and it was done so well. Such a fantastic movie, and it really set up the horror industry. There were so many different sequels to it, and apparently they went off the rails, but you know, demon possession movies are now a thing, and they have been for a while. I think it's large part due to The Exorcist. Well, that's going to be it for my video. I'm definitely going to do Toy Story next. I'm actually probably going to shoot it right after this. So yeah, I'm going to try to produce content every single week, usually in the form of a podcast. Maybe not. It depends on the week. It's usually something in this series, or it'll be a podcast. That's the easiest thing for me to do. If I have a review, though, it'll probably trump this, and I'll move this to another week. Yep. So that's going to be it. Please like, comment what you thought of this video. Comment what you think a classic actually is. And please subscribe. So that's it. See you guys later. B-Dog out.